All right, September is National Recovery Month, and this morning our next guest want to encourage you to speak out and reach out. Deborah Camilla is the Executive Director for Lee County Coalition for a Drug-Free Southwest Florida, and Leslie Robinson is the CEO and founder of Street Chicks in Recovery. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back, Deborah. So
Thank
excited
you.
to have you on the
Oh,
show,
thank you so
Leslie,
much.
this
Thank
morning.
you.
Let's talk about addiction, and I love that there is an entire month dedicated to recovery and addiction. I think there's some kind of stigma with it that I think people sometimes don't want to talk about it. They don't want to, certainly talk about it, with friends and family. But it is an everyday problem that really doesn't discriminate age, gender,
And it's not a character flaw.
Yeah.
No. It's a brain disease.
It is a disease, and Leslie, you've been sober for how long? I want to first go ahead and congratulate
thank
you
you.
on that.
Yeah, 11 years.
11 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's interesting, especially talk about with addiction and women, and certainly the recovery process.
Right.
And what you were finding here in our area is sometimes it's a little bit harder for women to find programs and.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of programs for men, and there's very few programs for women. And, when we first did Street Chicks in Recovery, we do literature for women and from recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction. And I had a book called The Little Book of Help, which is a little illustrated book that told the story of one of our characters. And then the back of the book, we had help numbers. So I had to research, okay, if I'm a woman and I'm on the street and I'm a crack cocaine addict or I'm an alcoholic or I'm both, and I'm done with this lifestyle and I'm living in a park, can I walk into your place and will you help me? And the answer was no, 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 no. So, there's the ACT Shelter for Being Abused for shelter. The Salvation Army is a really wonderful place. They've helped many people. But a lot of their programs, you have to have kids. And without insurance, there wasn't any place for these women. So I really had to dig deep.
So you were able to find some.
Yes.
For people watching this morning, there's an event coming up. I want to make sure we get this in. September 19th. It's going to be this National Recovery Month celebration.
Right.
Who do you want to what is this for? What is this celebration all about?
Well, we're celebrating recovery. We're having it at Gwendolyn's Cafe. Gwendolyn does hire people in recovery. We'd like to bring attention to the fact that people in recovery do deserve a second chance and, quite honestly, sometimes a third chance for employment. And anyone can come. It's from 6 to 8, and the whole community is welcome. It's a great celebration. We have music, we have poetry. We never really know what's happening, but it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, and again, I think the message is that you guys, from what I understand, is that addiction really is a disease, and people, again, deserve that second, and like you said, that third chance.
Right.
Were you thankful that people did that for you?
Absolutely. I was thankful, when I came into recovery that I finally understood what was wrong with me, that alcohol, and or drugs are a symptom of what's really wrong, with the alcoholic or drug addict. And, there's, when you have cancer, everybody's sorry for you, and many things happen in cancer, people lose their homes financially, and there's lots of things are lost. But if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, let's just face it,
Well, that's what goes back to what Deborah said, is it's a character flaw, it's your fault.
Right. That certainly, the women that you see walking up and down 41 selling their bodies, did not abandon their families and their careers, because life is hard on them or because they're not good at living life. I mean, it's a real brain disease, and they call the step one is about powerlessness, and that is really the lack of, you've lost the power to choose whether you pick up a drink or a drug.
I love that you've started this Street
thank
Chicks.
you.
That's what these chicks are here on the set. If you can see them, they're tiny, they're cute, and just a little symbol of hope, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
So as we close here, again, come out to this event. Who are you wanting to come out to this event? Anybody interested in addiction or recovery?
Yeah, families.
Well, the theme is join the voices of recovery.
Right. Okay.
And you don't have to be in recovery to join the voices.
Right.
Your voice is just fine no matter who you are.
Well, and what's interesting too is I think, even if something not immediate and your family is going through it, but people, your kids are going to school with people who are dealing with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a part of the community that I think people need to realize. As we close here too, if somebody is watching, maybe they know somebody, certainly a woman, what is your advice then for where they should go?
If you're somebody who's struggling with alcoholism, or you cannot stop drinking or using drugs and stay stopped on your own, you're probably an alcoholic or a drug addict. You know, there is 12-step programs here in the community. You can open up the phone book and you can look up those programs. There's also a local detox center that you can get into here that Lee County provides, and they will take you right through treatment after the detox.
So there are some options.
Yes,
You just need to speak out, speak up, do something about it, and you are living proof that it can be done and you can have a successful career and life afterwards. So again, congratulations again. I hope people come out to this event. So thank you for being here.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for having us. Okay, bye-bye.
Pick up a good read, or better yet, click for a good read. Up next on The Library is bookmarking your favorite novels and helping you sort fact from fiction in the digital age.